What is up, you geezer blow type geezers? It is Chris Marder9 here, and welcome back to the second installment of Chris Marder9's Premier League predictions. Now, if you remember last week, I did a video just like this, predicting the scores of last week's match day. And, well, I gotta say, I got a lot of these results right. For example, the Everton versus Sunderland game, I predicted it was going to be 3-0. The final score was 2-0. And as for us, well, we blew Swansea away 3-1. And that was good because I almost predicted that right as well. I went for 2-1 for that. So predictions were pretty damn good. However, games such as Leicester-Liverpool, 3-1. Leicester won against Liverpool. Wow, didn't see that coming, huh? I thought it was going to be the other way around. But, wow, I mean, they just sacked Ranieri. They put Shakespeare in charge, and now they are, well, they've got a good win under their belt, and I'm hoping that they can survive. I don't know, but it is still ridiculous that that Leicester have sacked Ranieri, and now suddenly they've started to spring into gear now, and they're starting to win results. What, are they going to win games now for the caretaker manager? You know, compared to what it was before with Ranieri in charge. You know, were those players actually playing for the manager, or were they trying to get him sacked? That's a thing you have to take into consideration. But it's still a good win for Leicester, especially against Liverpool. So anyway, with that said, we're going to go ahead and try and predict the Premier League scores for this weekend, match day 27. So the early kickoff at 12:30 this weekend is Manchester United against Bournemouth, and I can only see a win for Man United at Old Trafford. Mourinho has now gone 16 games unbeaten in all competitions, 9 of those being wins. So, you know, Man United doing well. They haven't lost in a while, like I said. Going really strong. I don't see Bournemouth getting any kind of result at Old Trafford, to be honest with you, and I think it's going to be a solid 3-0 win for Mourinho's Man United. Leicester City against Hull City. Well, following Leicester's 3-1 win over Liverpool last week, I feel that somehow, somewhere, they're going to get some momentum going, and I think, you know, at home, they can do that. They can beat Hull City, I think. Hull City still at the bottom of the Premier League. They're struggling. They're a side that I don't feel are going to get anywhere at the moment at this day and age. I think Hull City are very struggling. But Leicester City, I reckon, could win this 1-0. It's still a relegation scrap battle because Leicester City somewhat down the bottom. They could be easily catched. They could be brought back down into the relegation zone. That's how close it is at the bottom. But yeah, I think Leicester City can get a good result at the King Power Stadium. 1-0. Stoke v Middlesbrough. Now, Stoke, they've got to get back to winning ways after an absolute humiliation at White Hart Lane. Yes, they got absolutely trashed 4-0 at Tottenham, and, well, they need to get back to winning ways. And I reckon Middlesbrough are a tough side at the moment. They beat, well, even though they lost to Crystal Palace, I still feel Middlesbrough can sort of surprise a few people. But at the moment, I think Middlesbrough are kind of going down a bit. And I think Stoke City at home, they're very difficult to beat at the Britannia Stadium. But I think Stoke City are going to win 2-1 against Middlesbrough. 2-1 to Stoke City. Swansea City against Burnley. Let's see now. Burnley, away form is not as good as their home form. But, you know, after a 1-1 draw, I believe, against Hull City, they are still difficult to beat. Swansea City, they're doing very well under Paul Clement. They were a bit unfortunate to be beaten by us 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Paul Clement is a very, very good manager. He was assistant manager for Carlo Ancelotti at PSG, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. So he's got a lot of experience. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think both sides are pretty evenly matched at the bottom of the Premier League table. They're both trying to get themselves up there. Although Burnley may or may not make it a difficult game for Swansea. But no, I think it's going to be an even Stevens here. 1-1. Watford against Southampton. Now, Southampton were very unfortunate to lose the League Cup final against Man United. I did say that Man United were going to do the job, and they did that by, well, they went 2-0 up, then Southampton came back to draw it 2-2, and then right at the end of the game, Ibrahimovic headed the ball in to make it 3-2 and for Man United to win the League Cup. I think Southampton were very unfortunate. Now, as I was saying last week about this guy, Manolo, I think his name is Manolo Gabbiadini. This guy is a hot striker. I think this guy is incredibly good. I think he's going to be a really, really big hit for Southampton in the Premier League. And if he's not careful, Southampton are not careful, somebody in the summer is going to snap him up. Are Southampton going to bring Watford down? Possibly. I think my prediction for this game is going to be a 1-0 win for Southampton. I only think that because Southampton are doing very well, and I think with Gabbiadini up front, I think he can get the goals for Southampton. So, yeah. I'm going to go for the 1-0 win for Southampton. West Bromwich Albion against Crystal Palace. Now then, if I'm right in saying Crystal Palace last week recorded their first win at home in 2017 under Sam Allardyce. They won 1-0 against Middlesbrough, and they got their just desserts because, you know, it lifts their spirits, so to speak. As for West Bromwich Albion, though, I think West Bromwich Albion are very strong at home. They're very difficult to beat at the Hawthorns, and I think West Brom will win this 2-0, even though I think Crystal Palace have got really good high spirits at the moment with that win last week. West Brom would be too difficult for them. West Brom will make it a bit difficult, and yeah, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for West Brom. Okay guys, one of the big fixtures this weekend. Liverpool against Arsenal. What do I think of this fixture? I know, who do I think is going to win? What's the result going to be? I really hope this is going to be a draw. I really hope that both these sides beat the crap out of each other and they drop points. So that Chelsea beat West Ham and then they go on to go further ahead of these two guys. Because I hate both clubs. So both sides are struggling. Liverpool have only had one win in their last 7 games. That one win came against Tottenham at home. And well, Arsenal just keep bragging on about they should get rid of Arsene Wenger because, you know, he's had it. You know, it's time to move on from Arsene Wenger after, I don't know, 25 odd years at the helm. You know, he has to go. But, well, you still need the top of the table, Arsenal fans. So don't get too disheartened about that. I'm hoping for a draw, and I think it is going to be a draw at Anfield. I'm going for 2-2. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. This is going to be a very, very, very tightly contested game. I think Liverpool will score first, then Arsenal will go 2-1 up, and then in the last few minutes, Liverpool will equalise through either Sadio Mane or possibly even Henderson, Lallana, or I don't know, anybody. It's going to be 2-2. It's going to be 2-2 between Liverpool and Arsenal. Pochettino versus Koeman. Harry Kane versus Romelu Lukaku. Tottenham against Everton. What do I think this result is going to be? Now, both these sides are very strong. Tottenham are the only side in the Premier League to go unbeaten at home this season. But I think Everton have the players and the strength to worry them a bit. Now, I know that they beat Stoke 4-0 last week. And, well, I know they played against us and they played against Man City, I believe. And they've beaten both us and Man City at White Hart Lane. But Everton have the players. They've got Lukaku. They've got Barkley. They've got Morales, if he is playing. They've got some really strong players. Schneiderlin. I can't remember that guy's name. I think his name is Guay. I've completely butchered his name. But yeah, him in the middle, he's extremely good. Well, do I think that Everton have the strength to actually get a point or even beat them? Yes, but I think Spurs will be too strong. I think Harry Kane, Heung-min Son and Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, all 4 of those players are devastating for Spurs. And much as I would hate to say it, they have teared up the Premier League at home. And what do I think the score's going to be? I would say possibly Tottenham to win 1-0. I think Everton, even though they've got the players to hurt Spurs, I still think Tottenham have got strong enough, or they're strong enough to beat Everton. Only by the faintest of margins. And I think it's going to be Spurs 1, Everton 0. Sunderland versus Man City. Well, no brainer really, isn't it? Unless Sunderland can pull off an absolute shock of the Premier League, I don't think Man City are going to be hurt by Sunderland. Sunderland are right at the bottom, struggling. Manchester City have got the wind in their sails under Pep Guardiola. And yes, I expect Man City to beat Sunderland at least by 3-0. Goals possibly from Aguero. Maybe Yaya Toure might get one if he's playing. And maybe even Sané. I'll go with that. Sunderland 0, Man City 3, my prediction. Finally, we have the fixture that I care most about. Monday night, West Ham United against Chelsea. Now, we have already been to the Olympic Stadium before to play West Ham, but we lost 2-1 in the League Cup. Yeah, it's embarrassing, I know. But, however, we did have some of our B team out in that game. We had Ola Reina, who played very well in that game. I was very impressed by him. And Loftus-Cheek. He played as well, and I think he played in that game. I can't remember. Some of our youngsters played in that one game, and they were all very impressive. The result, unfortunately, did not reflect that. But the fact is that we have to play them again, and it will be this weekend. This is going to be a completely different game, though. We're going to have some of our best team out in this game. Do I think we're going to beat them? Well, I think we can beat them. You know, Arsenal have beaten West Ham at the Olympic Stadium 5-1. Man City have beaten them 5-0 and 4-0 in the FA Cup and the Premier League respectively. So, do I think we can beat them? Well, I think we can, yeah. But I think West Ham can make it very difficult for us. I think Andy Carroll coming back in their side after an injury is going to be very big for them. So, give or take, I would say we are going to win this game. No doubt about it. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win. But I think West Ham will pretty much dominate the game. Most of the game, they will dominate us. We go through games sometimes where we just let the team come onto us. But we have players off the ball that could do well. Kante is incredible. Kante is absolutely incredible. He's awesome. I love him. He's brilliant. He does an incredible job in the middle. He plays well with players like Fabregas and Mazic, and especially in the middle. He's like a little tank in the middle. It just takes the ball, hoofs it up the field. He's just brilliant. He's the equivalent of if Makelele and Essien were merged into one player. But going back to the prediction, yes, it's going to be 1-0. I hope it's going to be 1-0. I hope we win. But like I said, West Ham are going to make it very difficult for us because they are at home, and yeah. So that's the prediction. So there you go, guys. That is my prediction for this week's fixtures for the Premier League. I did pretty well last week, and I'm hoping that I'm going to do a lot better this week around. I'm going to make sure that this is a consistent thing. The videos that I make for this can be a bit time-consuming sometimes because of all the graphics and everything. But I do hope that this sort of method of making a video is, well, it's watchable. I hope some people do watch this. I believe last video that I did was like 15 views. It wasn't great. But I don't care about the views for this channel, to be honest with you. Even though if I get 7 views for this, I don't really care. It's the gaming channel. Well, it's Chris Marder Games that gets all the fame nowadays. I don't get the fame. But, yeah. So there you go, guys. That is my predictions for this video. If you enjoyed it, all the social media links are down below. My gaming channel, my Twitter account, and the Facebook account for Chris Marder Games are all down in the description below. Please go and check those out. It would really help me a lot. And make sure you put a like on the video. You know what? I don't know. If you like this video, then please give it a like. But I don't expect it, to be honest. I don't really expect a bunch of likes for this channel because, you know, this channel has been dead long enough for people to not care anymore. So, yeah, there you go. So thank you very much for watching. There will be another one like this next week if I can find the momentum to do it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching my predictions. And until the next video, I shall see you later. Hey do, and peace.